I'm Chris Myles, actor with Propeller Theatre Company.
Chris, can I ask you, how many shows have you done with Propeller now?
I think it's 15, David.
You think it's 15?
I think it's 15.
Brilliant. What makes you come back to Propeller year after year?
What's the phrase that Ed uses? I've never sacked myself. I've always looked at the tour schedule and thought, wow, good plays, good venues. Always enjoyed working with the company, and so through virtue of having a very tolerant, loving wife who lets me go off on tour, normally under the condition that she can come and join me somewhere and bring the kids. I've always said yes to the offer of work from Propeller, and very glad that I have done.
Brilliant. So Chris, you played Mariah in the past production of Twelfth Night, and now you're playing Malvolio. What's it like coming back to a production as a different character?
It's quite strange because obviously the production itself feels familiar and like saying hello to an old friend, and yet the minute you start doing your bits of stuff, you're kind of like, oh wow, this isn't familiar at all, because you're playing a different character. And of course you see that, and especially I'm playing the other side of quite a big antagonism within the play. You know, I mean, Mariah writes the letter that is Malvolio's downfall. So I've been Malvolio's bitter enemy twice before, and now I'm Malvolio.
So you've been both sides of the coin?
I have been both sides of the coin. I think somebody the other day said there can't be many actors who played Mariah and Malvolio, both halves of that particular antipathy.
So that's one of the joys of being part of Propeller.
It is one of the joys of being part of Propeller, absolutely. There's a sort of ethos within the company that actually, if you're good enough to be in Propeller, you're good enough to play any of the roles. But something very strange happened in rehearsal. We were about 3 weeks in. It got to one point in scene 5, and I came on at the right point as Malvolio, but instead of saying, "Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you," I said Mariah's line, "Madam, there is at the door a young gentleman wishes or desires to speak with you." I said Mariah's line when she comes in and talks about having met Viola at the door, rather than Malvolio's line when he comes in and talks about having met Viola at the door. So deep, way back in the kind of the brain memory, the elephant memory of the psyche, just being in rehearsals for this production again had reminded and unlocked this kind of like Mariah trigger in me that made me come out with that line.
Brilliant. So Chris, what's it like being on tour with Propeller?
It's like being on a great big family holiday. You're going to different places. Sometimes you go to familiar places, of course. But I mean, here this week, especially in Paris. I mean, some of us are familiar with Paris. None of us have ever done theatre before in Paris. And there's a great kind of excitement about. You meet at breakfast. There are some plans, and a little group might go one place, a little group might go another place. Some people are off on their own. Some people are going to hang around Nanterre, some people are going to the middle of Paris, and then when you meet back at the theatre in the evening, it's kind of like, oh, how was it? Oh, did you find a nice restaurant? Did you go to the top of the Eiffel Tower? And you exchange good and bad things to do in Paris. You find out the quickest way in. Don't get the bus, get the RER.
Brilliant. So
all that sort of stuff.
As you say, it's like being in one big family holiday.
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant.
And as far as possible, obviously, because I've got young kids, I try and get them out to exciting places. So in fact, they're coming for 2 days in Paris.
Brilliant. Chris, I won't take any more of your time. Thank you very much. And yeah,
you're welcome.
Have a good show.
Thanks very much. Cheers, man.
Thank you.
I'll see you out there.